but last winter I didn't bring it inside in time and it did not fare very well out in the cold. Like I think I left it out, it was in the 30s for sure, and it might have even dipped even lower than that. I just wasn't thinking, and so half of the plant actually died, and so this one, this big crusted piece is doing totally fine, and I just repotted it because it sort of like was still attached to the other side of the plant that was dead, but this like snapped off. And so it was just kind of hanging there. So finally I repotted it in my last plant chores video that you saw. And you can see it's in this really beautiful desert pot from Joanna Hennigan Pottery. I'm just so in love with how weird it looks. It's so cool. Cactus are so cool, you guys. If you don't collect cactus, get yourself some grow lights or a south window or a sunny patio in the summer and grab some cactus. There's definitely so many cool varieties out there. Like I could make an entire video about like funky cactus because there's just so many different kinds. But this one, the crested cacti, are very cool, and also euphorbia come in crested versions too. My next funky plant is this Begonia brevimosa. And this one is on this list because this color I feel is pretty, here I go again, I don't want to say rare, uncommon. It's pretty uncommon for a houseplant, let's say. Begonia do tend to be more colorful on the houseplant spectrum, but it's usually the back of the leaves would be this bright, vibrant red color. But with this one, it's the front of the leaves and the back of the leaves. You can see that the plant kind of is facing this way. But it has just the most beautiful coloring. So it has those pink, like neon pink background and then some green veining. So it's sort of like, I don't know, like an inverted variegation. Like that's not what it is, but it's just so cool. It's definitely a very funky plant. You can also see that the edges are sort of jagged and that the plant is actually kind of hairy too. So it has like little feelers. Like it's just such a goofy plant, or funky. We're on the funky plant list. I don't know, it's just such a funky plant and I really have enjoyed it. It's doing really well in my greenhouse cabinet, but we did have some time, as you can see there's some blank stem, where it wasn't living in there and it wasn't doing incredible in the ambient humidity in my home. It's currently 69% humidity in this room, but that's not very common. It's normally around like 55, 60, sometimes as low as 30 to 40, just depending on the time of year. Like if we're running the stove for the heater, like the fireplace, it's very dry in the house, but in the summertime we have to run a dehumidifier because it'll get way too humid. So all of that being said, she does better in a controlled humidity environment, which is the greenhouse cabinet. That's usually around 60 to 70% humidity. And she's done a lot better. We have a lot of new growth. You can see at the top there, we've got a lot of fun stuff going on. And then I'm really excited because at the bottom here, you can see there's some new growth coming out there. So yeah, she's a star. I'm really excited to see what she does as we continue our lives together. Okay, I'm wearing the next plant as a hat. This is my Thaumatophyllum sprucianum, and this plant is so much fun. It is so funky. As you can see, it wants to be a hat, but it has these really cool leaves right here. It kind of reminds me of the umbrella plant in a lot of ways, but this one is a Thaumatophyllum, so it is related to the Thaumatophyllum the philodendron sellum. The philodendron sellum is actually a Thaumatophyllum, but it's very commonly known as the philodendron sellum still. So this plant is related to that. So I feel like Thaumatophyllum are a really cool genus that I really want to dive deeper into and like learn more about and see what varieties I can get my hands on, because they seem to be like those really big statement plants that just are like, I'm here and I'm ready, ready to party. I don't know. They just like seem to be plants that are statement pieces. And I really like that. I like that this is so big. And as you can see, it's like completely spread itself out. And I don't know if there's really a way to control that. I mean, surely you guys know, if you've been watching for a while, that I'm a big fan of plant braces, which is basically like my phrase that I coined for anything that supports your plant and like helps move it in a certain direction for where you want the growth to be. That's a very roundabout way of saying it holds it up. It's like a plant bra, but plant braces seems a little bit more I don't know, relevant to more people. So I could definitely like get a piece of plant Velcro and like Velcro all of these pieces together to be like this. And if this plant was staying in my home, I would probably do exactly that because it is very all over the place and I don't typically like that. I'm really excited to see this grow and to see what the leaves will look like as they keep coming out, because look at how unique that is. I mean, there's like a bunch of leaves on this one leaf. It's just interesting. I know that there's probably a name for this type of growth structure, and if you have an opportunity to get one or even just to see one, definitely seek it out. Look around in your local nurseries and see if they're selling this plant now, because I've seen it. I saw it in Minneapolis and then I was like, ooh, that's really cool. And it was the first time I had ever seen it. So I wasn't gonna buy it as my typical rule. And then I saw it in a local nursery here in Columbia and I was like, it's time. It's time for me to get one of these because I still like it and it's been a few weeks since I had initially seen it. And so this is going to be living out in the greenhouse so that it can like really spread out. So basically all plants that are going to be like super spread out, and maybe not all plants, but like most of my plants that are going to need like lots of space like this one will probably move out there, or plants that would benefit from all of the light that's going to be out there will be moving. And I'm loving the way that this leaf is framing my face. Oh my gosh, this is top tier content, you guys. You're welcome. Okay, the last plant that I'm going to mention, it seems a little off book, but I would like to show it because I haven't shown it in a while, and it is my fake Monstera Adansonii. So I made this plant by following a tutorial from Corey Beth Makes, who is an author and just a creator in general. She makes some really awesome stuff. She's like an icon in my eyes. Like, she just is so cool. Anyway, she wrote a book called Handmade Houseplants. Anyway, she wrote a book called Handmade Houseplants, and she shows you how to make paper versions of houseplants. And there's like so many different types of houseplants, and even like things like sweet potato vines, or like, I think she has tutorials, or it might even be in the book, of like a Japanese maple branch so that you could like use that to decorate for fall or something like that. It's just really cool. There's tutorials all the way from Monstera Adansonii to a fiddle leaf fig, and I feel like a fiddle leaf fig would be so cool. I was actually thinking about making a fiddle leaf fig for my bedroom because I'd love to have more plants in there, but it just, with the way that the room is set up, there's really not much lighting at all. And so I do have a plant in there with a grow light. I have a big Monstera tree with a Monstera tree. I have a Monstera deliciosa in there underneath a Soltech Solutions grow light, and then I have a little wall frame grow light from Modern Sprout, and those are great. But I would love to have like another big statement plant, and unless I put in another grow light, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. So I think doing like a fake statement plant would be really cool, and I would want it to look super realistic. Like, I might even consider using real branches from outside. I don't really know, but I just wanted to show this plant as like a reference point because I did make a video of the process of making this plant, and I think it's like so funky and cute, and it's potted in this pot that doesn't have drainage, and I didn't know what I was gonna use it for. Now that I know how to drill drainage holes, I think that I could have used this pot for other reasons. But it is cool that I have this pot, and the plant looks like a real plant when you're not really paying attention. Now, of course, all of the leaves are exactly the same, which isn't realistic, but if I was to do it again, I would do a couple different leaf varieties, but I would pretty much structure it exactly the same because it looks so good. It's so full. The leaves towards the bottom are a lighter green color, and we have some rocks. Oh. For some reason, I thought I glued them down, but I didn't. We just have some rocks that I took from the garden outside, you can see, and popped them in here. And there's like a styrofoam disc that I stuck the wire into, and it all holds itself in. So if you want to see me make this, I made it last year, and last winter. And so I think I'm going to do another tutorial, or maybe, just maybe, do something special on my Patreon. If you didn't know, I have a Patreon and I do plant clinics on there. We do bonus videos, we chat on Discord, we do polls and things like that for content, and sometimes I even will post a video to Patreon before I post it here.